This is Juju Talk Sports, and I'm talking today to Mr. Devin Clark, UFC fighter, just coming off a big weekend at UFC 250. How are you doing today, Devin?
Doing good. A little tired, but doing good.
I imagine, how's recovering? Because I know you fractured an orbital bone.
Yeah, it's going all right. It's one of the oddest injuries I've had, just because like right now my face is numb through like out here through the nose and my lips. That's all still numb, and I have to have surgery on Wednesday. But like the face, it's the feeling's starting to come back a little bit, so it's in an in between mode, and I just feel like I have something on my face and it's tingling, and so yeah.
Does that kind of mess with your vision a little bit?
Not really.
Okay.
It hasn't, no.
Well,
In the fight it did. After it happened in the fight, it was like one eye, but now
gotcha.
it's good.
You had like that Rocky moment, like cut me, Mick, cut me.
Yeah, which I don't see how anybody could do, but now having that injury, I'm like, heck no, that's the last thing I'd want you to do is cut me.
I mean, I love the Rocky movies, but, as far as like realistic fighting, not so much. But anyway, like I said, so you're coming off a big win. Glad you got the W. So congratulations, my friend. But you actually also did a big first in the UFC as well that I wanted to ask you about. So you were the first UFC fighter or fighter in general to take a stand, or in this case, take a knee prior to the fight. So I just wanted you to kind of like walk me through that process. Like, did your corner know? Did Dana know? When did you kind of like plan it? What kind of planning went into it?
Nobody knew that I was going to take a knee. I think I told one person. I forgot who I even told. I don't know if it was my coach or not, but I think it was my coach, Chad Smith. But yeah, I didn't talk to the UFC at all. And honestly, I didn't really think it through. I just knew I was going to do it and didn't have too many thoughts about it. It just felt like the right thing to do. But as far as like worrying about what if I got in trouble or anything like that, I didn't even come to mind that I would get in trouble for it or something like that. But the UFC was cool with it, and ESPN was cool with it, and so I'm happy it worked out.
That's awesome. What kind of like feedback have you gotten since that?
Mostly positive. Yeah, super positive. A lot of love. A few haters, but that's gonna happen.
Internet.
But I'm the type of guy, I'll go out of my way. I read the comments. I read most of the comments about my stuff, and the people that felt some type of way, I reached out to them and explained it to them. And then after that, they were like, "Oh, I'm sorry." And they understood a little better. And I didn't get a post-fight interview to explain why I did it and stuff like that. Just because I had to go to the hospital. And a lot of people a lot of people thought that there's a national anthem. There's no national anthem. It was during my own intro. So I took, my own time to do it. And some assumed that was just, black power, screw everybody else. No, it was, for me, it's a sign of unity. And, I've been calling it the people's fist or something like that. But, it's for the people. I want unity and for people to respect everybody else. Treat others how you want to be treated. I think that's like rule number one, and then we can figure out the policy changes that need to be in order with the governments and the police departments.
Yeah, I agree with that. We all just need to start coming together a little bit more. We've been so divided for so long that it's nice to see, like, and you mentioned the positive interactions, like more of that, please, just more of that, people, right? With that said, like, let me ask Devin, like, do you, in your own community, are you planning on doing any contributions, or like, how do you plan on moving forward, like, as we move past the protest phase?
I'm not sure yet, but it is something that's, this is kind of new for us. We had a nationwide protest. It's crazy. I think every state had protests. So we'll kind of see how it plays out, but I'll definitely be doing what I can for the cause and just to get my message out there of pretty much peace and love. That's what I stand for, and just for people to respect each other. And if some kids see me doing this stuff and talking about it, then hopefully they can get the right idea as well. And because right now, most people get their information and research from the media, whether it's social media, the news, and it's all for one side or another, instead of looking at the full picture and admitting that both sides have issues, and that everybody can get better. Everybody needs to get better, and it's not just one group or one person or one race.
Yeah, I mean, well, a lot of people do whenever they're selecting their news media, they basically go for confirmation bias. So that's why we have such a one side or the other media. So let's walk through that fight. So with Alonzo Menifield, you took some shots. Obviously, like I said, you broke your orbital bone in that fight. There was a couple other shots he got in, but then you rebounded after that first round. So how was that moment, especially too, like you said, the vision was kind of bothering you at points?
So I think it was like about 2 minutes into the first round. That's when he hit me with that nice uppercut, and that fractured my orbital. And after that was pretty good pain, because it felt like I just got hit in the eyeball, just straight on the eyeball. Eye trauma is horrible to deal with. So much pain, and you get nauseous and stuff, and your body really reacts oddly to it. But yeah, I had to get through that, take a breath, and like where what's going on, then realize that I'm all right. And at the same time, you're still trying to fight. So I just did what I know and grabbed for a leg and used some wrestling, put that kind of pressure on him. Then I was able to get my breath back and get my wits about me.
Gotcha. So your background primarily, so you started in boxing and had a little wrestling background, if not mistaken?
Yeah, I started wrestling and boxing when I was about 7.
Gotcha.
And I wrestled pretty much my whole life after that, and ended up wrestling in junior college, won a junior college national championship.
Oh, wow. God, I miss the sport of wrestling. Former wrestler myself, it's
okay.
Nothing tests you like being in a wrestling room at 130 degrees, just doing sprints.
At a young age, too.
At a young age, too. Yeah, seriously, my first experience in a wrestling room. So, like, I was a little bit of a chubby kid, right? So I walk in there. About halfway through the practice, I swear I look at my dad. I'm like, "What did you do to me? Did I do something wrong? Did I not do my chores?"
Yeah, it's a lifestyle for sure. A little more than a sport, because you make some really good human beings out of putting them in wrestling their whole lives.
Absolutely. So you do training camp out there in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I'm a former Albuquerque resident myself. Obviously, you probably don't eat like I do whenever I go back home. But tell me, like, have you gotten a chance to indulge in some of the restaurants out there? Have some green chili for yourself?
Yeah, I'm not a big green chili fan. I'm just,
Ooh,
a little bit of hot sauce, but the green chili, I haven't really got into it too much. I like the red chili better.
fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, Albuquerque's a cool spot, and there's some good food there. I like the diner, or is it Frontier?
Oh, Frontier, yeah, great place. Breakfast burritos, all that good stuff they have over there. Yeah, no, perfect spot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously you train at Jackson Wink. I should ask you one question here before we get into just the training camp process as a whole. So obviously you're in the same gym as Jon Jones, and he's kind of going through a little bit of a contract dispute with the UFC. Have you got a chance to talk to him at all about that?
A little bit.
Gotcha. Like any like progress being made, or is he
I don't know
on
what
going
kind of
somewhere else?
progress. I don't know what kind of progress that what's really going on or not. But in my opinion, I think he deserves more money. The one guy that deserves the right to ask for more money is him. He's been the most dominant champion, and for so many years, he deserves the big paychecks.
Would you consider him the GOAT?
Oh yeah, hands down. I don't see how people can really argue that. Especially when GOAT status is, that's how you fight, how you perform. Nothing else should really matter. So I know they use that as one of their arguments is, the stuff that he's done outside the cage, but he's also done a lot of good stuff outside the cage, and then being so dominant and such a good fighter, like, yeah, the GOAT.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give him a shout out too. So I was like following a lot of the stuff that was happening in Albuquerque over there too, and I saw some videos of him doing some great stuff, helping clean up after some of the riots and protests over there. So, hey,
Absolutely.
shout out to Jon Jones. Like, that's the kind of stuff we love to see from the champ. But with that said, as far as both genders, do you think Amanda Nunes is close to challenging him? You were at UFC 250. I don't know how well you got to see the main event.
I didn't see it, but no.
Nah.
I mean, how long has she been champion?
A couple years, but if you look at just like her list right now, she's basically put an entire list of Hall of Famers on their butt.
Yeah, I know, but it's still like, okay, we'll do that for another 6 years.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, we'll see. We'll see who next the UFC can find to put out against her, because at this point, like I said, she's worked her way through Holly, she's worked her way through Misha, Ronda. I mean, Cyborg. So it's like, who's next for her? I guess that's one of the challenges of UFC, trying to find the next person in line. Let me just ask, have you already talked to your agent about maybe getting a fight on Fight Island yourself?
Not yet. I'm gonna work on recovering and do my surgery and everything else like that.
Okay. Well, Devin Clark, we look forward to seeing you in the ring next. Congratulations again on the win, and we'll help your mother. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.